Jesse, thanks for having me on again. This is a nonsensical proposal put together by a bunch of freshman congressmen uh, who really have no understanding of how the energy industry works, how our national grid works, or really what powers our economy, what petrochemicals are, et cetera. But the proposal is climate change is so bad, we are causing it because of our fossil fuel use, that we will eradicate climate change by stopping all fossil fuel use within 12 years. And then consequently, because these are a bunch of socialists, added to the Green New Deal is guaranteed health care, education, jobs, and income for everybody. So what that has to do with being green, I have no idea, but they threw it in for good luck.
Well, it's the old saying. The old saying is that the entire green movement is just a movement for the socialists to put in all the programs they've always wanted anyway. Only now they can do it under the guise of saving the planet from destruction. It's not
exactly.
Yeah,
And that's what environmentalists have always done, right? Because they claim to do things for the good of the earth or for the planet, they've had really license to destroy people's lives. Look at coal communities in rural America, right, where Obama went in with his EPA and his war on coal. And rural towns in West Virginia that once used to create a great product that powered our grid, they now have opioid overdoses and suicide skyrocketing. Their domestic violence is up, right? Green groups have destroyed communities in America while damaging our economy, but because they do it for the earth, they're held to some sort of like noble standard.
And I want people to hear what he just said. There is a human cost, an extremely real human cost for these policies. Everybody looks at it on paper, or you see talking heads on TV about solar panels this or regulations that or taxes here, and you just kind of dismiss it because it's not your town. When your town is run on coal and it's all of a sudden wiped out solely because of the green movement, there is a cost there that is extremely real.
Exactly. And that's why I started this organization, Power the Future, because those folks need a voice. Rural America, these green groups come in, people like Tom Steyer and Mike Bloomberg, billionaire ideologues who are aligned with the green movement. They come in with their money and their activists and their college kids who bang on drums and demand that we, close a coal mine or take away land use for drilling for oil or gas. But then when they quote unquote win, they all go home, right? And the activists leave, and what's left are these little towns where dad no longer has a job, where the school no longer has funding. Would Michael Bloomberg ever go back to this town in Titus County, Texas, where he spent millions of dollars to close their coal mine, in December of 17? 800 people lost their job right before Christmas, and Michael Bloomberg took a victory lap. Right?
Daniel,
he wouldn't give a dime for them for their school, but he'll spend money to shut down their only source of income.
Tell me about Howard Schultz, this new independent billionaire, the former Starbucks guy. Tell me where he is with all this green energy stuff. Is he somebody we need to worry about? I know people are intrigued with him. Where does he stand on all this stuff?
Well, what's interesting is that he has actually come out not opposed to the Green New Deal, but he has said, look, this is not a viable solution, what they are proposing. We can't rid ourselves of fossil fuels in 12 years, not just because of what it does for power, right, and actually fuel and electricity, but because of the petrochemicals, because of insulation, and because of carbon fiber, and because of the chemicals in your cell phones and plastics, right? So Howard Schultz has come out saying this is not a great solution, but he is a climate activist, and he would not be a great person for the energy industry if he were to be elected.
I'm glad you brought that up. People have to understand how much oil plays a role in that phone you hold in your hand, and it always makes me laugh when I see these energy activists out there protesting something and taking videos on their iPhones. It absolutely makes me laugh. Tell me, how much of our power grid, what percentage of our power grid runs on fossil fuels?
Right now, it's probably about 65%. So here's a funny statistic. Before Obama came into power, about 70% of our electric grid was powered by renewables. Obama subsidized the green movement to the point of trillions of dollars, right? He had $1 trillion green stimulus. After 8 years of Obama and his war on coal, how much of the electric grid is powered by renewables? About 17%. Literally made no dent. We might have just given the $1 billion to Iran like we gave them everything else.
We
Right?
took trillions of American taxpayer dollars and flushed it down the toilet for a pipe dream. For a president, I'll remind our audience, you think he cares about the green movement. He cares so much about his carbon footprint, he flew his personal pizza chef from Chicago to make him a pizza in Washington, D.C. That's how much they care. Daniel, I'll give you the final word, man.
Jesse, it's just great being on your show and the chance to talk about this. And, for your listeners, your audience, they just need to be aware of these issues and pay attention to any sort of climate policy, because it's not about the earth. It's about politics. It's about government takeover. And it really is a huge threat to our economy, our way of life, and our freedoms, most of all. And you're a voice for freedom, and that's why we love you.